What's up, y'all? Welcome to Nostalgic Sports. Today we're going to be covering every team's stadium in the UFL in 2024. There are no hub city stadiums, as every team has their own stadium this year. Since the schedule was released for this upcoming season, we saw that 8 teams will play 5 home games at their stadium and 5 away. So starting off with the home stadiums of every UFL team in no particular order, we have the Birmingham Stallions, playing at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Protective Stadium was built in 2021 with a capacity of 47,100, and it's a brand new outdoor stadium. I've had the opportunity to watch a game there once. It was really nice all around, and it's plenty big for hosting the Stallions. As well as the Stallions, Protective Stadium is home to the University of Alabama Birmingham football team and Birmingham Legion FC soccer team. Protective Stadium also hosts the annual Birmingham 76 Bowl at the end of the college football season. I think it will be another good turnout for Stallions fans at Protective Stadium in 2024, with them being back-to-back USFL champions, and I see the attendance being higher at their home games this year. Next up, we have the Houston Roughnecks that are going to be playing at Rice Stadium on Rice University's campus in Houston, Texas. Right now, the stadium is set up for a 47,000 capacity, and it is a very historic stadium being built in 1950 and having an impressive past, hosting the Houston Oilers home games from 1965 to the 1967 seasons, and it even hosted a Super Bowl back in 1974. Definitely cool for the Roughnecks to get to play at such a historic stadium. I think it will be a nice change of scenery for the Roughnecks, who played last year at the University of Houston football stadium, and I think it's a good move. We will have to see how the move and the team rebrand affects game attendance at their home games, but I think it will help being at Rice, and they can draw in Rice football fans and students that are just right there to the home games. Next up, we have the Michigan Panthers playing at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Ford Field was built in 2002 with a capacity of 65,000. This stadium is the first one we are covering that isn't an outdoor stadium, and it is home to the Detroit Lions NFL team. And as of right now, Ford Field is the only stadium where it's used both for an NFL and a UFL team. And with its huge capacity of 65,000, it has the second highest capacity for any of the UFL team's stadium. Some people would say it's too big of a stadium to use for the UFL, but I think with it being an NFL-worthy stadium with plenty of room for the fan base to grow, it is a good location for them. And with this year's success from the Detroit Lions in the NFL, I could see that spreading across to the UFL, with more fans returning to Ford Field for spring football in Detroit. The stadium is also really cool, being multi-purpose, holding lots of different events like Supercross and Monster Jam, and it's a good home for the Michigan Panthers. Next up, we have the San Antonio Brahmas playing at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. The Alamo Dome was built in 1993 with a capacity of 64,000. As well as the Brahmas, the Alamo Dome is home to the UTSA Roadrunners college football team and hosts the annual Alamo Bowl game at the end of every college football season. It used to be home to the San Antonio Spurs until 2002, where they got their new stadium. I really like the look of the outside of the Alamo Dome, and it has plenty of room for fans with that 64,000 capacity, and it could get some of the same complaints as Michigan, saying it's a bit too big, but I disagree. They can focus on selling out the lower section of the dome before even going up to the upper, and I think there is a lot of potential at the Alamo Dome for the Brahmas. Next up, we have the Arlington Renegades playing at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Choctaw Stadium was built in 1994 with a capacity of 25,000. It was home for the Texas Rangers MLB team until 2019 when they moved to a new stadium. Now, as well as being home field for the Renegades, it's host to North Texas SC in soccer and the Dallas Jackals rugby team, which I think that's awesome that Choctaw Stadium hosts a rugby team. This season, at the home games, I see attendance going up in Arlington after the Renegades winning the XFL championship last year and fans waiting to see how they do this year. The smaller stadium should also allow for more packed-out crowds and potential sellouts. And Choctaw Stadium will also host the first game of the 2024 UFL season between the Renegades and the Stallions, which The matchup a lot of fans are excited to see between last year's XFL and USFL champions, and I think the season will start strong at Choctaw Stadium. Next up, we have the DC Defenders playing at Audi Field in Washington, D.C. They play at a stadium that was built in 2018 with a capacity of 20,000. As well as the Defenders, it's home to the DC United and the Washington Spirit soccer teams. The size of the stadium is small compared to most of the other stadiums used for UFL teams, but I think it can work in DC's favor. With it being compact, it makes it easier for the Defenders to sell it out, and it will be a very hostile environment when other teams go there to play. And the fans are very passionate and rowdy. I think there will be a lot of beer snakes made at all the home games at Audi Field, and I definitely see more sold-out games this season. And with star quarterback Jordan Ta'amu returning to DC, that offense will be electric, and I see attendance at Audi Field and viewership definitely going up for them this year. Next up, we have the Memphis Showboats playing at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. The stadium has been around for a while, being built in 1965 and has the capacity of 58,325. Liberty Stadium is home to Memphis University for college football and has hosted the Liberty Bowl annually at the end of every college football season since 1965 when the stadium was built. The location of the field is nice, and I like the scenery around it in Memphis. I think the shape of the stadium is awesome and probably my favorite outdoor UFL stadium. Liberty Stadium has plenty of room for fans with its large capacity, and I think Memphis football's success in the stadium this year will bring out more Memphis college football fans to support the Showboats this season. I see a raise in fan attendance coming for Memphis this upcoming year. Next up, St. Louis Battlehawks playing at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis, Missouri. The stadium was built in 1995 and has a capacity of 67,000. It was home to the St. Louis Rams from 1995 to 2015 when the Rams relocated to LA. The stadium is multi-purpose with hosting Supercross, concerts, and lots of other events, as well as the Battlehawks home field. It ranks number 1 in the UFL for capacity of people it holds, and last year the Battlehawks at the Dome led the league in fan attendance with an average of 35,000 fans at every home game, and I see them doing it again this year with a very passionate St. Louis fan base. Even though their stadium being the biggest, they still have a big chance of it selling out. It was announced that the UFL championship game will be played at the Dome at America Center, which is a big deal for St. Louis. If they are able to make it to the championship, it would be a huge advantage to get to play it at home. St. Louis is already a hostile environment to play in with all their fans, but could you imagine the stadium if the Battlehawks were in the championship at home? I definitely could see that selling out, and it would be a huge game. I'll be looking forward to seeing how every team's attendance is at their home stadiums this year. Let me know in the comments which team you think will have the most fan attendance and which stadium you like the most out of the UFL teams. Also, have any of y'all been to any of these stadiums? If so, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more UFL and other sports content coming soon.